I bet. Hey, everybody. So, listen, this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do a reading on what's the best way for you to protect yourself, right? During these times. I'm going to let y'all spiritual teams speak to me and let me know what's the best way for you to protect yourself. You might be a hypervigilant person if you're watching this in the first place. But during these times, what's the best way you can protect yourself? I think everybody should take time to look at their gaps. You know what I mean? We're all human. And this is a time where we do need to live life, but we still need to be vigilant. We still need to be vigilant, know who's around us, know what's going on around us. So the best way for us to protect ourselves, it also encompasses like enemies, who you might need to protect yourself, an extra measure you can take. So I'm going to just let the spiritual teams come through and speak to me. So I have 3 piles. Pile 1 is a Palo Santo. Palo Santo. The fresh one. Smells delicious. Pile 2 is this Chanel's rose ceramic. I got it from Chanel. Actually has some wax on it from a candle. And pile 3 is this flower. I've forgotten the exact name of the flower, but this is dried. It's beautiful. I love the violet color, right? So, all right, that's pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So, let me get into it. I'm going to use the Goddess Oracle deck. This is pile 1. I use the Goddess Oracle deck. I use this deck. I like Oracle decks. We're gonna get some tarot cards, but not the traditional red or white. I just feel like maybe I need to study more about hermetics before I get into the traditional tarot card, because those were made by a hermetic order. It's a specific religion, and so before I get into it, I want to know more about it. I know how to read a lot of tarot cards from watching a lot of tarot card readings. And that's a good way to learn. There might be somebody here you're trying to learn. Maybe in pile 1, you're learning tarot. You're new. You may be a reader, but you're learning tarot. Okay. What is a way my pile 1 can better protect themselves during these times? What's a way my pile 1 can better protect themselves during this time? Definitely by standing in your power. I'm getting that. Standing in your power, leaving people alone that you need to leave alone. Right. Vila came out. I like this card. So you remember on the movie Sinners? In the beginning of the movie, they were talking about the filly. And then one of the vampires ended up being kind of like that, where he was somebody who sang and danced. This is Vila. So Philly was just a mispronunciation, which will be common and from somebody in that time period that the movie is in the South, right? It actually it's supposed to be Vili. Vili is the plural of Vila. This is Vila. Shape-shifting. This says in order to protect yourself, definitely be flexible. Right? Not every situation calls for a mean mug. Not every situation calls for a hug. Be flexible. Sometimes you have to let your wolf out. Sometimes you're going to have to let the gentle mare out. But also people that you know to be shapeshifters. You see that word, shapeshifters? People that you know to be shapeshifters. People that you know to be funny. Yeah, make that exit. People that you know to be narcissistic, only care about themselves. You know how they say narcissism is on a scale or whatever, but there are people who only care about themselves. Yeah, start moving around. Move around. Be flexible. Blend in the crowd. That's actually an operational security measure. Not standing out too much in a crowd. Being flexible. That's something. What else? You may have blonde hair. You may be from Europe. You may be watching this in Europe or a Slavic country. Yugoslavia, or is there Yugoslavia anymore, child? Ukraine, Russia, something like that. Like, you might be in a different, if it's not Russia, you might be in a different country. Prague, something like that. European, Eastern European. I'm getting that vibe from this. What else can my pile number 1 do to better protect themselves during this time? Oh, that popped out. All right. Oh. Get you a journal or diary. Don't tell people your business. Confide in yourself. Make sure you're keeping a journal or a diary. You may be someone who sings or does poetry, or you like plants, or you have a green thumb. You might have a garden, or you might have want a food forest if you don't have one, or you might just have like trees in your yard. Like, say if you live in a place like Florida, you might have trees in your yard that have mango or avocado or Spanish limes or star fruit or mangoes or anything like that. You're very inspired. Really, this part is a lot about self-governance. Self-governance, meaning handle yourself. You get upset, put your emotions out on paper, sing, write a song. Staying mentally stable. I'm getting that through creativity. Also, this same creativity, you could end up sharing it with the world, and it can make you some money. You might be thinking about being like a YouTuber or somebody who makes creative content, IG, TikTok, any of that. Staying inspired. This is a way to govern yourself and how to protect yourself during these times. Don't tell other people your business. Confide in yourself. Excuse me, y'all. Hold on. Confide in yourself. Keep your own counsel. Keep your own counsel. Also, you might have a close-knit family. Basically, staying close to your people. Maybe you have a friend group. Maybe it's 3 of y'all. Staying close to your people. Keep it to yourself. I'm seeing that here. Planting some vegetables. For sure. Get you a little lettuce garden going. Get you some green onions. Put them in some water. Put them by the window. Something to sustain yourself. And even though I am getting that you need to keep a journal and keep your own counsel, make sure that you do have somebody you could talk to. Or there are at least 2 other people you could talk to. Confide in. Even if you have to call them, even if they're across the country, you just call each other every once in a while, check in, tell each other everything that's going on. All right, let's get one more from my pile 1. What can they do to protect themselves in these times? What can they do? This popped up, so I'm going to take it. I don't know what it is. I'm going to take it. Oh, baby. Really, listen, it's a given. Keeping your circle tight. It's more fire energy, though. You might be a fire sign. You might be a Cancer, Leo, Cusper, too. I'm getting that for some reason, but you might be a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You might have sun, moon, or rising. Keeping a mean mug. Oh, my goodness. I know I said find somebody to confide in. But making sure you keeping a mug, and when you in certain spots, you gotta go. Keeping a mug actually is something that you do to protect yourself during these times. Look at this Ike Turner mug, bruh. She looking back like, what you say? Segment, do not care. Also, though, and that's in line with this one, keeping your anger and your rage in check. Keeping your anger and your rage in check. Channeling your anger and your rage. You might be a reformed crash out watching this. Keeping your anger and your rage in check. You get mad about somebody do something in the street, you see something, go home, make a song, a poem, a movie, clean your house. Channel that energy and use it into your rage. Use your rage And channel it into your creativity, your output. Channel your rage. All right? You might be African watching this. You might have dreads. You might be pregnant, or you might have just had a baby. Something like that. I'm getting that too. All right. Well, that's all I have for y'all. Pile 1. Thank you so much for coming. We're going to clear this out. We're going to clear out pile 1. And see what else we can get. What else is going to come out. Yeah, clearing, channeling your anger and your rage. That pile 1 was a lot about self-governance, which I like, because the only person you can really control is yourself. If you're going to talk about being safe, self-control is number 1, actually. Self-control is going to be number 1. So that pile made a lot of sense to me. That reading felt actually grounded. So let me get this going. Let's clear it out. Clear out the energy. Now let's move on to pile 2. We're on pile 2 right now. I got this ceramic flower. You're supposed to spray perfume on it, and it keeps the scent wherever you want. It has some wax on it that I spilled. This is like a lotion wax. Child's doing too much. I was doing too much. You might like wear designer a lot. You might be the person that likes the finer things and like the fancier things in life, right? And you've had to dial back in order to protect your finances lately. I feel like that's probably quite a few people that more than want to admit you've had to dial back recently to protect your finances. Hold on. Yeah. All right. What can my pile 2 do to better protect themselves during these times? What can pile 2 do to better protect themselves during these times? What can pile 2 do? You might be a dancer. You might like to dance. This is your Uranime, primordial goddess who made chaos out of order by dancing. There might be a toxic relationship, with somebody. There might be a toxic relationship that you need to leave. I'm not even going to hold you. And it might be, you might be at making a decision. Listen, you might be making a decision right now where you think like, if I break up with this person, it's going to break them. But if you don't break up with them, you're going to be living life in chaos and deception. And you know it. So that's for somebody. If it's not for you, leave it. We shouldn't have to say that by now. If you in your big old age watching pick a card readings, you know what's up. Uranime. She is dancing at the beginning of time. Child, why? I really don't even be having a bunch of noise except for that train, bro. You might have been with this person since you were young. You guys were young when you got together. And it's a very volatile relationship, but you love each other. You know if you leave this person, it will break them, but if you need to make a decision. I'm not here to tell people what to do. You want to live in chaos and in deception? Go ahead. If you don't, you know what you got to do. And that's on period. Pooh. How to protect yourself is balancing the chaos, the coming chaos that's coming. If this is giving me, you're just around a lot of people that you have to walk on eggshells around. And if you're going to stay in this environment, then you have to learn how to dance in the chaos. Ooh, this is harsh. You're going to have to learn to dance in the chaos if you're going to stay around these people. You can't be too emotional. You can't be too logical. You got to learn how to read people. You got to learn what to say to them to get the outcome out of the situations you want. It's not even about being manipulative. This is giving survival. Whoa, this is harsh. This is giving survival. You know what? For this one, I'm gonna pull straight from the top of the deck, the next two cards. Y'all saw me shuffle them. They sitting right here. I don't know what's underneath. This is giving survival. This is giving, I deal with these people. I dance around this issue as a survivor. You might be a dancer. You might be a midnight ballerina. You're around a lot of snakes. Child or not. Let me move on to the next card. I shuffle these cards good. That's crazy. Keeping your own counsel. You might be drawn to pile one. Keeping your own counsel. Being creative. Planting vegetables, fruit, plants, having plants. Writing poetry, singing, dancing. There's something significant. This didn't come out in pile one. There's something significant about the number 20. You could be 20 or 20 years old when you got into this relationship, or your birthday could be on the 20th or around the 20th, 21st, 19th, 20th, 21st, up to the 29th. Your birthday could be in a month from the 19th to the 29th in any month. You may be Catholic, or you may have thought about becoming a nun. Hold on. Oh. You know what? I'm going to leave it alone. I see a spider. And I've never seen a spider while I'm doing a reading. I'm seeing a spider for some reason. A spider could be significant for some reason. Somebody could resonate with that life form for some reason. You could be a widow. You might have lost somebody, and it was a past relationship, and you have to let that person go. But you still feel that person around you, an old relationship, or somebody that's passed on. That's crazy. That just came to me. Somebody that's passed on. All right. Let me get one more just from the top of the deck. Lakshmi. Hey, girl. Hey. I love seeing this card. Every time I see this card, I be like, hey, girl. Hey. Lakshmi. Lakshmi. Something you can do to protect yourself. You know what? This is what I'm getting. Because, you know, there's the obvious. You're saving money right now, right? What you're going to do to protect yourself, and this is going to benefit you spiritually, especially, I mean, it's going to protect you physically. There are going to be times when there's people that you need to give to. Resources, food, helping with food drives, helping at food banks, stuff like that. You're somebody that's meant to give in this time. Whoever you are, you have abundance, you have wealth. Maybe you've had to dial back buying designer clothes or whatever. But you know what? This is a time, and it sounds counterintuitive, but to protect yourself, you need to give some. You need to give in a way. Also, even when it's encouraging people, Sharing a meal with somebody. Somebody comes over, hey, feed people in a time when you don't know when's the last time somebody ate. Feeding people in a time when you're not sure. When was the last time somebody ate? They come over, you see them, you're going to meet up with them. Hey, I brought this snack or something like that. Being mindful. Snacks are significant. Bringing people snacks, I don't know. That's coming through. Giving to other people strategically now, right? You don't have to be an open bleeding heart. You don't have to give tons and tons of money. But giving to people, making sure they ate. You got clothes you don't want anymore, giving clothing to people. And it's not just the organization, going to people, hey, I wanted to see if you would have this. I don't wear this, I don't use this anymore, stuff like that. Giving to people strategically like that is something that's gonna protect you during this time. That's very powerful. All right, bet. So that's it for Power 2. You like the reading, boo? Subscribe. Once I get to 50 people, I'm gonna start going live, baby. Yeah, I'm gonna start going live. But I gotta get to 50 people, child. I'm just sitting here like with 14 subscribers at this time. But you know what? I'm gonna make it to 10,000 subscribers. I'm claiming it right now. I'm claiming it. I'm gonna shuffle some more. Let me get my light on. I'm claiming it. Let me get my light on before we move on. Pile tree. We gonna move around. Pile 3. Yes. Okay. Girl, I don't know what it was. Last night, I was just so stressed out. And it's not my mind. It's like my body. We're gonna let it rain. We're gonna clear it out. Yes. We're going to clear out the drama. Pile. Read. This beautiful, beautiful flower. I'm not sure of the exact name of this flower. I'm going to find out because I will be using it in another pick a card reading. Anyways. It's a beautiful flower. Bet. Pile 3. Pile 3. Let's get it popping. Let me cut the cards up a little bit. Then we're going to dig into it. Pile 3. I'm seeing themes of like justice. Themes of justice. Something about justice. How can you protect yourself during these times? How can you better protect yourself? During these times. How can you better protect yourself? How can you better protect yourself during these times? 2 cards. 2 cards came out, y'all. Bad. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. I'm feeling high. My money's gone. So let me tell you about the Sphinx. She had this city called Thebes under siege. And you know the reason why the city was under siege? It was under siege for a good reason. King Laris, there was a king. When he was younger, he was in exile from his own kingdom. He grape. Like, you know, the grapes. He committed grape. GRA. He committed grape on somebody's son who showed him hospitality. The son unalived himself. It's a Greek tragedy, child. It is a Greek tragedy. King Laris of Thebes committed grape. That person unalived themselves. That person's father, who was a king of another nation, of another town, city. That person's father went to the gods and demanded justice. Remember I was telling you about, I'm seeing themes of justice. Demanded justice. When they demanded justice, the Sphinx was sent to put the city of Thebes under siege. Oh, this is good. What the Sphinx would do is sit on a rock right outside the city gates. Everybody that tried to go into the city and everybody that tried to leave to the city, she would ask a question. What walks on 4 legs, then walks on 2 legs, then walks on 3 legs? Nobody could answer the question. When the person couldn't answer the question, she would devour them. She would eat them. She would eat them up. Like, that's crazy. And then Kuan Yin, what I do know about her story is that she received a bunch of unjust persecution, but she stayed gentle. She stayed pious. And she ended up, the people who were persecuting her, she ended up earning their respect. She's a goddess that reincarnates as a woman out of compassion for women and humanity and their suffering. Oh, this is deep. Give me a minute. There's something about essay here and compassion for women. You might be a man watching this, Paul. There's something about essay and compassion for women and women's suffering and women's rights. What? Fighting for women's rights. Making sure you're standing up for women's rights, especially if you're a woman watching this. Making sure you're standing up for women's rights is how you can better protect yourself. This shit is deep. I didn't know it was going to get this deep. I thought it was going to be like, get some more food, get some radios. Standing up for women's rights. Oh my God. People, predators, be they male or female, if they're known predators, standing up to them, the community standing up to them, holding them accountable. You can't come here. The Sphinx put the city of Thebes under siege. You couldn't just come and go. You're not welcome around here. I know you mess with da-da-da-da-da. You be doing this with da-da-da-da. You're not welcome. Oh, this shit is deep. Having compassion for women. There might be a man watching this in, I can't sit up here and tell you about what most men that watch tarot are like, this or that. I really don't know any men that watch tarot. A lot of men don't admit it. They sneak in on my readings, though, when I be going live on TikTok. But other than that, men don't openly talk about tarot like women. Maybe they might talk about astrology, but there's even a little bit more few. They don't openly talk about that. Well, this isn't tarot, like oracle readings and going to get readings and stuff like that. Most men don't talk about that. You might be somebody that's a skeptic to something like that, and you're here today. Hey, what's up? You might be just somebody who needs to have more respect for women in general. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let me pull another card. This shit is deep. I want to dig more. I might pull an extra card for this one. I might pull an extra card. Hold on. I'm pulling straight from the top of the deck. Let me see what come out. This is like organizing. Morgan Le Fay, rhythms. You see, has 3 people there. You might be drawing a pile too. You might be drawing a pile too. You see how the 3 sides of Morgan, you got the hag, who's the wise woman. You got the drummer right here. And you got the maiden with the sword. Joining an organization, being squad deep. I'm not going to lie to you. This is also giving me spiritual protection vibes. Spiritual baths, cleansings, stuff like that. Protection stuff. This is giving me protection rituals, stuff like that. This is giving me that for sure. If you're not a spiritualist, going to a spiritualist, a wise woman, someone you trust, someone who has integrity, a prophet, a pastor even. People down Christianity a lot, but not everybody that's Christian is a fraud. They have power too. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. For sure, this is giving me that. Let me pull one more because this is just interesting to me. Because I want to bring this together too with the Morgan Le Fay. I want to bring it together. Mad purple throughout this whole spread, bro. Mad purple throughout this whole spread. Purple here above the Sphinx. Purple all around Kuan Yin. Let me get one more. Isis, mothering. Okay. So Isis is the bad bitch of the tarot. Bad bitch single mama of the tarot. They tried to kill her man, girl. She put him back together with a golden penis. They tried to kill her man. She put him back with a golden penis and conceived her baby, bro. She don't play. This is her. She had her baby in the Nile in order to be protected from enemies, right? So you know with the story of Moses. The story of Isis actually makes way for Moses' birth. Because when he came down the Nile and went to the Pharaoh's sister, she was like, Isis sent me this baby. She knew that was a Hebrew baby. And that her brother or something like that, I forget, I think the Pharaoh was her brother at that time. She knew that was a Hebrew baby. Her Pharaoh was the brother at the time. So she was like, Isis gave me this baby. Can't nobody take this baby. And everybody in the palace knew that he was a Hebrew. And he was raised as a prince of Egypt. Crazy. There's a situation where you might need to adopt somebody. They might be a female. They might be a teenager or a child that went through something horrible. And I'm going to go bring it back to this card. Went through something related to this that I just spoke about. You might need to adopt them. You might have a chance to adopt them. And that's something that you're going to do. And it's going to protect you during these times. This is kind of wild. Or there might be a little girl in the neighborhood. Or a teenager, somebody you mentor, even if you don't adopt them. Wow. There might be 2 girls, 3 girls, sisters. You might need to mentor them during these times. And that's something that's going to protect you. This did not go where I would think it was going. It's something that's going to protect you. That's all I'm getting. All right, Pile 3. Listen, if y'all like that reading, go ahead and subscribe so I can start going live on this. Because I'm lit live. I like going live. Readings is cool. I'm going to keep doing readings. But I'm lit live. You hear me? I'm lit. I want to do my pick of cards live. So if you enjoyed that, I appreciate you. All right, I'll see y'all again.